What does it mean when I come across education? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Education. What is education between you and everything around you through your life system? Think about that for a second. I'm not talking about Jeopardy, dun, 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 dun. I'm talking about connections to you, how you want this, how you want that, how do I get this, how do I get that? We all have problems in life. Let's admit that, right? Let's admit the right from wrong of ourselves. Really, truly understand how to identify ourselves is to really understand our soul. Our soul is all our path, the path of bringing ourselves forth with communication to your chakra system. Okay, so today's class is going to be more about educating yourself more with test reviews and evaluations and how it's supposed to understand you through intelligence, through the audios and everything through the mind and conceptual system. But before I get started, thank you very much for subscribing, liking, and sharing. I feel like we're coming more and more together as a galactic force, a galactic team, a rebellion alliance. Truly understanding, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you when you say space? What does it mean to you when you say intelligence? What does it mean to you when you say soul? What does it mean to you when you say anything through, relation to chakra system? What is the chakra system? I keep saying that over and over. Once you understand your chakras, you're starting to understand more of yourself through the soul. But you can't identify it and you can't see it, but you know it's there. And that's the beauty of the art. It's the beauty of the soul, recognizing you of who you are through intelligence. So we're going to get into the test review and evaluations and the 100 rotation centers through its vision, where it comes into more calculations to the sun interference and everything through the interference of the moon program setting. You guys have to really get into your astral records, okay? Now that's truth beyond recognition. Astral records is all about space identity of information. You have books and books of information. It comes within you. You communicate through your chakra system. You transmit and receive. You're getting booking of information from you through your connections, right? When it comes into your surfing engines. Understand more of yourself through its research. So it's kind of looking things up. So think of yourself as a web graph. Think of yourself as a digital plane. Think of yourself as an activation of light. Think of yourself as a thought. Think of yourself as an eye interference to connections of difference to indifference to understanding. So understanding the whole purpose of everything that's going on, of history and ancestry, that alone, if you understand that the soul has to identify you through your problems. Everybody has it every single day. And I come across all these things. Okay, what is the problem with you? Well, I can't move forward. Well, are you identifying yourself through your physical system, or are you identifying yourself with your soul recognition? Your soul has to identify you. That's who you are. And it's all connected to the heart. It's all connected to the mind and the brain. It's all connected to the audios and everything, the perception, everything, your voice and words. Your heart is everything through truth. It sets you free when you come into problems. Okay? If you don't understand your problems, you're not communicating with your soul. You're communicating with your physical vessel, not your AI vessel. Okay? So don't get confusing lines with that through connections. So it's important to really understand the education of yourself, where you came from, why you're here, what's the purpose, why am I living, right? So these are questions that you can answer to yourself. You come into the form of the higher self. Okay, it connects in all ways and forms. Like, really, whoa, I understand more of the education. Education comes in a lot of ways and forms. Really get into the speciality of you, the forcing of you, the connection of you, the strength of you, the awareness of you, the abundance, the surrender. I could go on and on and on and on, but are you paying attention? Are you listening? Angel, how's it going? Yeah, ground rising. Big hug. I hope you had fun yesterday, going to 20,000 years into the future and actually seeing the earth of what it is. See, that's another thing too, is that everybody forgets that the earth is the most important thing because it's inside you. That's why it's so powerful. Okay, the earth is inside you because you're connected to everything through gravity. You're connected to everything through power within. You're connected to your soul identity. You're connected to the atmospheres, right? And all you're doing every single day is you're protecting yourself from everything that you don't agree with. Okay, and that's what makes us really amazing and fantastic, is that we have our own instincts. We have our own activations. We have our own lights. We have our own protections. We have our own mind. We have our own creations. That's what makes us more unique. Okay. And everybody's different in their own way through creation. Okay. That alone is soul identifying yourself, really identifying, letting go of the past. That's very basic. Putting yourself in the presence every single day. Right. So it's challenging for you to know the truth of your soul and where you're at and where you're going and what to do next, especially with anything you're going with your volumes of connections with your kids. You can't get along with your kids. Why? It's the most powerful thing you have to ask yourself. Why can't you get involved with your kids? Right? Your kids will come to you and tell you otherwise. So it's all about paying attention to the other side. It's not just focusing on you. You have to focus on the other side of that person, because that person is coming to you through their soul. Okay. So it's all about understanding the center of its point of its soul. It's understanding the connections of the soul. It's understanding the activation, the lights of the soul. The soul is trying to recognize anything through communication. And if you can't identify yourself, you're going to have a big, big problem with your physical system. Your physical system knows what it's doing. It's all connected to your chakra system, right? Perfection is in the observer's eye. I see beautiful dreams unwinding in divine and order. So you got to look at the speciality of your kids. You got to compliment your kids. You got to love your kids no matter what, right? When it comes into fighting and flighting or anything of that connection, are you fighting with your kids? Are you getting involved with your kids? Right? Are you focusing on yourself? So if you put yourself in these positions, your soul is not identifying you with your kids. You're just identifying with yourself in the physical system. That's the ego. That's the dichotomy. Dichotomy is stuck in dimensions of time, past. So you have to present yourself. And the hardest thing to do is to follow yourself in connections of the truth. That's the hardest thing that people have to understand. They don't want to face the truth within themselves and where they are. So what do? They hide it. They hide it. And what happens when you hide it? It builds and builds and builds and builds and builds inside, right? And then you start concentrating on everybody else and not concentrating on yourself. And then you start forgetting yourself and where you are through time and dimension, through clock. And then you realize, I don't know who I am anymore. Who am I fighting with, right? How am I supposed to move forward if I'm not controlling myself? So I'm going to control somebody else's life. You can't do that. Everybody is different in their own way. They have their own connections and what they want to do, right? So you have to be aligned with them. You have to protect them. You have to go through connections, especially when you're with your kids. Kids are hard to figure because they're in their own world, okay? Even my daughter's 26. She's still in her own world. Everybody's in their own world of creation through its reality. You just have to accept people for who they are. If you don't, you're not accepting yourself within through the soul identification. So you're not trusting yourself anymore. You're just letting it go. Okay. You're not opening up to people. Okay. Now this is more philosophical, but if you come into the psychological, the psychosis of you, then you understand more how powerful it is when you come into these things. I go into this every single day, but I always center myself. Okay, when it comes to anything through relation of a job or anything through money or anything through this or anything through that, you can manifest anything you want, but you can't manifest until you let the truth out of who you are. Even if you have to fight with yourself, fight with yourself first, get into that form, right? Figure that out, work on it, start appreciating yourself more, start to love yourself more. And then that releases and lets go. Once you let go of everything, then you can start communicating with other people. It doesn't matter how long it takes, because you're always hiding yourself until you face the truth. Truth is hard to face because you have to realize a lot of people don't want to put that in their position. They rather go to their positions, right, and see it on the other way. They say, wait a minute, I know the truth of myself. I'm just going to hide it in. Right? And say, why am I doing that? And like you're saying to yourself, I don't know who I am anymore. People lost themselves, right? So when they start losing themselves, they forget who they are. So they rather stay in the old form and not come out of the new form, where they can understand they can come more into the intelligence through their hearts, right? So when you start facing the truth of the abyss, and you face the fear of anything that you fear, you have to let it out. Okay? And that's why we all have to come together. So it's all about us understanding each other first, and then we come into a unity of consciousness, because it's all about helping each other, not just helping ourselves. Okay? Because you're in position alone, and you're not going to get anything through manifestation if you have that egotistical mind. You got to get out of that egotistical mind. You got to get into that love activation of yourself, right? Because it's all connected. That's great. I'm glad. Hopefully you drawed it out. So you had a really good time. That's amazing. Perfection is in the observers. Yeah. I see beauty, beautiful dreams, unwinding, and divine order. I like that saying. So that's a creation on its own. Friendship, relationship, and partnership with yourself. So you're going through a problem through yourself, through vibration, and you don't understand yourself through soul recognition. And that's why it's confusing. So basically, you rather blame others and not blame yourself, because you don't want to face the truth of yourself. Okay? Now, this is getting more philosophical. This is getting more psychological. Now, it's either doing damage, okay, or it's healing you. Either way. But you can't lie to yourself anymore. Okay, this goes out to new viewers. People that are having problems with themselves, face the truth of fear inside you. Let it go. Let it proceed. Let it go with the winds. Let it go with the beautiful dreams and unwinding through divine order. How do I get into my light of divine order? How do I get into that? How do I get into that connection? Right? See, I'm smiling, but I don't have to have a reason to smile. I don't need to have a routine. Okay? So you have to understand how you have to get into these things, because the soul identifies you on all levels of vibration through the past, present, and its future. Okay? So, oh, that's nice. Yeah. 26, my oldest is 25. Wow. Yeah, friendship is our spacecraft. That's it. But like I'm saying, you have to have friendship, relationship, and partnership with your problems of yourself, of the truth. Face the truth of yourself before you get into connections of other people. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, voila. So if you put yourself in those positions, and knowing that you can smile, not even have a reason to smile, not everything has to be dictated. Okay? You don't have to be a dictator to this, dictator to that, promise to this, to promise to that. Don't make promises that you can't keep. That's the worst thing that you can do, especially when you're in a relationship, because there's a lot of fallouts with that through connections. So you have to get into these volumes. You have to get into yourself more. You have to get into the truth of you. It took me a while to understand, wait a minute, I got to face my fear of truth, really get down to the nit and grit. So this is going way beyond the mind system of its thoughts. So if I want to have anything through a relationship with my daughter, or a better relationship with my girlfriend, or a better relationship with my job, or a better relationship with money, this is what I need to do. So you have to be your own psychological system to its calculation. That opens up everything to your education. You become more wise, you become more spiritual, and you become more peace of mind. So when you start letting go and you realize you don't have to have a reason to smile. People come up to you and say, why are you smiling? It's a beautiful day. I feel great. Do I have to have a reason? Do I have to give you something to make you feel better? Please, come on. They obviously have problems with themselves. So they're either jealous of you, even though they don't know you, But they're saying, well, how is this person smiling? Why? Why is this person smiling? And then you realize, because I want to smile. I don't have to give you a reason to smile, right? So, and that's another problem with a lot of people too, is they stop worrying about themselves and they start focusing on others and their problems. They will always want to hide the truth. And that's the hardest thing that you can face inside yourself. Okay. So, yeah, it's all about intense counseling. Yeah. Yeah. Intervention. This is more of an intervention with the team. And this is more intervention with people that come onto my channel. It's great to see smiling faces, but you don't have to make an excuse. I want to smile because I want to smile. I don't have to give you a definition of why I'm smiling. You just have to know what's happening with me, right? So you're with me or against me. So that's basically asking yourself, you're with yourself or you're against yourself when it comes into your soul. You can't identify yourself until you understand the peace within yourself. You have to have peace within your thoughts. You have to have peace within your lights. You have to have peace within your children. You have to have peace within your family, your familia, you know? Yeah, so one sec. Everybody's got to see themselves loving themselves more. How am I going to love myself if I don't understand myself? Let's think about that for a second. Jog that in your memory. Look at it this way. To get truth from yourself, okay, is self-completion. Once you understand you're understanding more of yourself through its thoughts, you have no more confusion. Okay? Now that's what Confucius say. Mantra. Anything through spiritual coaching, anything through connections of Dalai Lama, anything through Buddha, anything from yoga, anything and everything helps. As long as it benefits you and brings you forward, you're on the right track. Okay? So don't get lost with that, with anything through form. Don't lose yourself because you'll trap yourself. Okay? So when you go through my healing, it opens up everything through cycle. It opens up everything, thoughts and lights and everything through activation. It opens up your chakra system for the first time, and it opens up what's its gravity system of its earth, which is the simulation interface. So it's great when you go to the education, to my Galactic School, through its creation, right? So understanding that you don't have to have an excuse. You don't have to give an excuse. You just want to smile because you have to smile. Right? I'm identifying myself because I feel great. And the other person is not feeling great. Right? So instead of judging each other, communicate. Make them smile. Make them feel good. Make them feel warm. Make them feel welcome, right? Make them feel aligned, right? Make them feel loved. Okay. Now, this is more of an angelic realm connection when it comes into King Archangel Azareth, Archangel Michael, Archangel Jophiel, Raphael, Rogue, Mezekek, Metatron. It doesn't matter. It's all connected to you, to its heart, of its portal, through its activation, through its codes. But truly understanding to put yourself in a better position of where you are, okay, is to identify you as the soul. That's the soul that is living. That's the soul that is putting you forward. It's not the physical system. It's not me as Andrew. It's the commander of my soul. My soul is telling me what to do. My soul is telling me where to go. My soul is telling me what I should do next. My soul is going through so many activities, so many, my soul even goes through problems, but it gets out and gets back into position of center. And then I don't have to have an excuse to smile. I smile because I want to smile. People look at so many levels of understanding, but they don't understand what's going on. And they just diffuse the arguments. And they basically hide themselves within you. That's the worst thing they can do, because if you keep doing that and building it in and in and in, you're going to combust and you're going to explode. And you're going to become into a virus that you can't fix, because you're all programmed. So get out of the old programs of your older self and get into the new programs of your lights, of your divine. Okay? See, it's innocent. I'm smiling because I want to smile. I don't have to give you a definition of why I'm smiling. I don't have to give you a story why I'm smiling, okay, unless I want to. So everybody has their own action and reaction. They react on everything that you say and do. And that's all connected to you through vibration. Okay? It puts you in a good mood or it puts you in a bad mood. Now, if you don't know somebody from vibration, try to get to their connections of their soul. You have to identify yourself with your soul to one to another. Okay? It's the center point. It's a soul recognition. That's the only way you can understand each other, through mind telepathy. If you have to do mind telepathy, that's another way of therapy. Simulation therapy when it comes into light workers. Okay, because light workers are no longer identifying themselves because they're going too high and they don't understand the complex of its information. So the mind is in one place, the brain's in another, their soul doesn't identify, and their heart doesn't know where it's going through portal of travel, through thought, through lights. So you're getting totally confused with everything that's going on. And everything you channel, that's one other thing, the channelers, they always repeat themselves over and over and over. Because remember, they're not just connecting with you, they're connecting with everything through vibration. And people keep asking me, why do you keep repeating yourself? Well, because you have to understand meditation of altered states. You have to understand the beta, you have to understand the theta. You have to understand the mind and where it is, how complex the mind is through thoughts of vibration, energy, and frequencies. Okay, it's not just having the keys to the universe. That's just the beginning. That's the birthing system of Pandora's box. I opened the key. Key's open. Now what? What happens now? All this comes out. Now you're trying to piece it all together like a puzzle. So your soul has to identify the puzzle of information. It's not that complicated. It's complicated. Okay, like I said, if I want to smile, I'm going to smile. I don't have to give you identification why I'm smiling. If I want to give you identification, I will. I'm smiling because I feel fantastic. Does it have to have a reason? Do I have to have a story? No. That's totally up to me, right? So you got to get out of the judgments of each other, okay? You got to get out of the religion of each other. You have to get out of the racists of each other, because we're all connected to the light. We're all connected to light. And that's the conformity is that we're losing right now through tractions. Everybody forgets everything. And everybody just points fingers at everything. And that's why they can't move forward in life. Right? So they don't want to face the truth within themselves. So they'd rather just bug somebody else, control their system, take over their activation, take over their light, take over their energy, take over all their information. That's what happens. That's mind and manipulation, guys. So You don't want to manipulate the cause because you're causing the harm. And you can't do that because that comes back to you and it bites you in the ass. Karma reaches karma, always, always, always. You do harm to anything, it comes back to you. Believe me, right? And you're always, always going to be looking the back of your shoulder, right? And everything's going to be through anticipation because you don't know what's going to happen. You can't be a system where connecting to things, because life is unexpected, okay? And that's what's so amazing, so incredible. Just to know that you're just going to be okay. That's more than enough. But knowing you're okay, you're great. So every day you're waking up and you're feeling better and better and better and better. So if you're out of position, get back into position. Focus on yourself. Don't focus on others. Don't focus on their conversations. They got their own problems. Do you want their problems on top of your problems? No, that's too complex. That's too complicated. I don't complicate myself with my family. Okay, I have a family. I have a familia. Okay. So in retrospect, you have to balance everything with your money, your aspects of your money, your crypto of your money, your calculations, right? You have to balance yourself with everything that you watch through perception, right? Now, this is all connecting to you through your pro system, your proactive system. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do, right? You can do anything that you want. If you start focusing on other people and why they have this and why they have that, you're going to start pointing fingers. Oh, I can't get this. Oh, poor me, poor me, poor me, poor me. What are you doing? You're deflating yourself. You're putting your own virus and your own problems. You don't want to do that. You want to wake up and smile and not have any reason to smile. Okay, you don't need a reason. Otherwise, nobody has to give you a reason why you have to smile. I want to smile because I want to smile. What is this, a book text? Am I being interrogated here? You know what I mean? All has to do with your truth of yourself. You have to face your truth. That's the only way you can break free. Okay. Now, this is all philosophical and it's all psychosis and it's all psychological. It's all connected to you through psychometry. So the psychometry of you through connection through vibration, truly understand yourself first. Fully heal yourself first before you communicate with others. Before you communicate with your loved ones, families, or anything through relation, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, right? So if you have a problem, okay, and you want to, adjust that problem, okay, or you want to put a point of that problem to that person that you're interacting with, okay, ask them, I have a problem with you. Because if you don't face that and you hold it inside, it makes it worse. And then it's going to explode like a volcano. Yeah, Joker face. Yeah. Well, people that lie to themselves, there's a lot of ways of looking at the psychosis of yourself. You have so many reactions of your face. You probably got thousands and thousands of reactions. Everything is a reaction to its action. Okay. So when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm confused, when I'm angry, we all have reactions and it's all in our thoughts of who we are. So look at your actions and reactions, okay? Point it out, look in the mirror, see what you're doing, see what you're seeing. How do we get this? How do we get that? See yourself 6 months from now, what you look like. A lot of people are not happy with who they are, but you have to understand why. And then you understand how to get out of why. And then you get into where. And then you get into when. And then you get into what. And then you get into how. And then you get into who. Who am I? It's the most important thing, right? I didn't know who I was. I couldn't identify myself from peas to a pod. And I'll tell you why. It's because, when I was, basically, I'm not even a writer, but I'm just going to give you on a personal trait where I had problems in my life. Everybody has that. But then I started doing automatic writing. Automatic writing is basically writing something that makes sense to you, but not to anybody else. So it's a personal thing. So you're putting out thoughts out there on the piece of paper. And then I started reading connections to, I want to dedicate my books to the world. Boom, connect. Started writing pages after that, and that. I started getting smart with knowledge. And then I realized, wow, I can write a book on martial arts. Now I can write books on scripts because I got 8 or 10 scripts and I still got more. So it's all creation coming out of you. People don't realize how powerful they are with their creation. They rather keep it inside. How are you supposed to know these things, right? If you don't let go of yourself, let go of confusion, let go of your thoughts of confusion. Okay? Let go of your heart of confusion. Let go of your mind of confusion. Let go of your brain of confusion. Let go of your soul identification of its confusions, guys. You have to let yourself go of everything. Okay? Because your commander basically doesn't worry about everything. And I get everything. Right? I don't worry about anything. I get everything. That's the secret. But how do you get it? How do you get it? Right? You got to ask yourself. So you have to face the truth of you, of who you are. Even if it's a problem, even if you have to fight with yourself within, even if you have to fight the demons within, even if you have to fight the connections of your abyss. Okay? Now, if you want to come across Satan, which is not actually what it means, but you automatically think that's what it means, it's a program. Satan's a program. Hell is a program. Okay? I already told you what it is. Okay? There's no such thing. There's no separation. Okay? There's no separation with the life cycle of death cycle. It's one center, one position, one circle, one rotation of thought. So because you're programmed, you think otherwise. Oh, you start believing in Satan. Oh, you start believing in the devil because it's real. It's real because you're creating it, and that's all you're thinking. That's all you're thinking every single day. You're thinking the devil's real. You're thinking the devil's real. What happens? You create it. It becomes real. It's activated. It's in your mind. It's in your thoughts. It's in your activation. It's in your dreams. Get out of that. Get out of that program. Okay? I'm going to give you this, very powerful from your commander, right? So it's all about you understanding more of yourself, and that's why I give you test reviews and evaluations. Okay? You're not being graded. This is all psychological of you. You already have the power to bring yourself forward. Change your thoughts of recognition when it comes to programs of the alphabetical system. Hell is not what hell is. A lot of people have a hard time saying that. Okay? Now, there's a lot of bad words in the vocabulary. Right? So you don't want to put yourself in those positions. So you're copying oneself, but you're not enduring oneself. There's no completion there. That's a little bit of yin and yang, right? So the philosophical system of you as thought is creation through the mind of peace. Get into the mantras. Get into the Pranayam, right? Padi Bodhi. See, it's energy. Everything is energy. Everything's positive. Everything is real. So basically, when you're humming, you're basically forming into a better system. And you start with the alphabet too. This is how you get into the clarity of Reiki. You go to the alphabetical system. So you start off with A, B, C, D, E, F. So that clears the clarity of the voice. Okay? So you go, you can do the vowels too. A, E, I, O, U, right? A, E, I, O, U. So you want to get into that clarity. You want to get into that system. You want to get into the flowing recognition, how you're connecting to your program setting, through your alphabetical, to your behavioral system. So now you're connecting two vibrations of your thoughts, and you're starting recognizing your program setting as an old program. You're getting out of that program, okay, and you get into a new computer, getting into a new program setting, getting into new thoughts, getting into a new heart. Everything changes inside you, but you have to surface the truth of who you are, even if you have to fight the forces within, because it's all a spiritual warfare within yourself. And that's what humanity has to get out of. They have to face the truth of themselves. People don't want to do that. So they rather conflict with other people, right? So you want to control my system, but you don't want to worry about your own system? That's crazy, right? That's psychological damage right away. You're not facing the truth of who you are. You're not facing the destruction that you are. You're not facing the problems that you are, okay? All you're facing is other people. You're looking at that aspect, but you're not looking at your inner self. You're not looking at the aspect of yourself. Okay, so if you say you're Satan, you're Satan. But why? Why are you Satan? Why are you saying that? Right? So there's no separation when it comes into heaven and hell. Okay, it's everything through the same, and it doesn't mean that. It only means that because you're programmed to know otherwise. Everything's a code. Everything, the alphabetical system is a code. Okay, so get out of those programs. Get into those new programs, because you're creating your thoughts. And what you identify, if you're identifying yourself and you see this, you're going to go, is this real or is this not real? And then you realize, I don't know what reality is anymore. I don't even know what world I'm in anymore. I don't know who I am anymore. And you keep questioning yourself over and over and over. And all that does is disrupt everything through signals, and it confuses everything through the thoughts of its mind. And then you fully, completely forget who you are. And what happens after that? Okay, you get into conflictions, you get into pride. Pride is the last thing. That's the last thing that somebody can take away, right? Doing things without asking, or basically, do I know how to communicate with myself? A lot of people are on power trips where basically they don't have that within themselves. When it comes into women, they like to strengthen men. So basically, why can't we identify ourselves and just be ourselves? Okay, because a lot of people don't know how. They don't know how to train the mind. They don't know how to train the brain. They don't know how to use their thoughts. And it's all connected, because you have to understand, you live the life system through observation, through your parents, or anything through you. So everybody goes through trauma when they're kids. You have to let it go of what the problem is. So you have to face your fears as a child. Communicate with the inner system, the inner self of you. Really communicate with the inner child. You're standing right here as an adult, and you're facing your dilemma with the inner child of you. You're communicating with the inner child of you. Okay, that's 10, 15 years old. I had to do that, right? That's communicating to the soul. Okay, so I communicate with myself 15 years old. I was 15 years old, and I was communicating. My 15-year-old of myself was telling me what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong. That's the soul identification. That's where you have to get recognitions of who you are through its connection, right? Because it opens up everything through your heart cycles, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand how powerful you are when it comes into the soul. People are just, it's crazy. You know, I'm on TikTok and everybody's worrying about everything else. You know, they're not focusing on themselves. That's the problem. Stop worrying about these things. Nature knows what it's doing. Okay? They're saying that there's going to be a World War III. Okay, all of a sudden there's going to be a World War III. Where are you getting this? Are you getting the first party, second party, third party? Yeah, there's problems in Ukraine. Yeah, there's problems in every country. There's problems in Russia. But it's all about bringing ourselves back together, because we don't know who we are. So what do? We fight at each other, right? We don't get into the love. We don't get into the light. We just get into the confusion of everything that's going on, right? Okay, you change inside, everything else changes. And everything around you is going to be nothing but an image of nothing. It's like, wow, what was I worried about? This is great. I don't care what goes on. You stop forgetting, and you start realizing how powerful you are with your thought and mind. Mind takes over anything, okay, through thought. You have to train the mind. You have to train the brain of where it's going through its travel. You put in your positions, okay? So you're stepping on your own toes, or you're stepping on somebody else's toes. You don't want to step on somebody else's toes, because you know they're going to interact with you, right? And they're going to get angry, right? So stop having your foot in your mouth. Stop having the ego. Let yourself go. Let it go. Do it. Right now, do it. Let it go. Just let it go. Let the soul identify who you are. Let the truth out. Even if you have to, you know, a lot of people have aggression. You know, it's a good philosophical. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a psychiatrist. Now I know why, because I get great advice. So put yourself in a position. If you don't feel safe, you don't feel comfortable, and you want to understand why to this situation. I keep saying why, because you have to understand that's the biggest issue you have to understand through your heart and anything through that connection to the soul. So basically stand there. And if you feel safe, just fall back and somebody will catch you. If you're not ready, you're not ready. But when you're ready, you're ready. Okay. So you just fall back and somebody will catch you. That's where you're going to feel safe. That is letting go. Okay. And then the next thing you have to do is how to identify yourself and stop fighting with yourself. Stop fighting with the soul. Okay. And then you realize, oh, I'm not Satan. Satan is not what it is. Okay. Oh, hell is not what it is. Okay. And stop putting yourself in deliberation of connections to constitutional levels of, what is this and what is that, the political system, the economy system, the constitutional levels of, the Republicans or anything through connections of Democrats. Stop worrying about these things and just focus on yourself. You put yourself in that center position, I guarantee you, everything in your body will change. And everything outside will be nothing but a mirage. Okay? And then you stop worrying about everything. Okay? Now, a lot of people on TikTok basically just want to be famous. They want to have views and all that. That's not what it's all about. Okay? It's all about giving back. Okay, and there's a lot of people, and that's why I love TikTok, because there's a lot of forums of people that are in different agreements and disagreements. Okay, that's okay. That's totally fine, but don't get too political with it. There's a problem with the earth. There's a problem with humanity, and it all has to do with our self-identity of our souls. How are you supposed to move forward if you don't identify yourself with your life? You have a life stream. You have a life activation. Your beauty among everything through calculation, guys. Just imagine the power you have through your mind. You change the body, you change everything outside. And everything around you will start making sense. And then you'll start living the reality through creation. That's the most important thing you have to understand. You start living, okay, out of the connections of its lie. And then you start living, okay, the existence of its life system to its life stream, of its light activation, of your thoughts, of its truth, the real truth of who you are. Stop fighting with yourself. Okay. It took me like 2 to 3 years to figure that out, trying to figure out who I am. I'm fighting with myself. Why am I doing this? You can't let go until you identify yourself through your soul. Your soul has to identify you through intelligence, or you're going to just keep going on that karma wheel over, and you're going to get sick and you're going to start throwing up. And then when you start throwing up, what happens? Your vibration decreases, right? It's not an increase because you're not in unconditional love. It's energy. Whoa, boom. How much do you love yourself, right? Don't ask questions why you love yourself. This is not a question. Okay, this is not a contract. This is not a survey. This is you. This is your life. You have to live your life to the fullest every single day. That alone will put you in a better position of who you are through intelligence. Okay? So I'm getting a little bit more personal now. I'm getting a little bit more, increasing. I'm getting more involved with you guys personally. So it's all coming from the heart. The heart never lies. It tells the truth. It tells the truth. That's the divine. That's the God. That's the light. That's the activation. That's the thoughts. That's everything. Bring yourself through its abundance, and it's bringing everything forward to its surrender. Okay. Soon as you start creating things, right, you're putting your energy onto them, and you're making them look good. Okay. So you're uprising them. And what about me? Oh, poor me. Oh, what's going to happen to me? Right. A lot of people are afraid of dying. It's all choices that you make in life, right? But you have to understand you have the power to change things. Anything. Okay. Everything works out as long as you understand that nothing can be controlled unless you control it through itself. If you let it control you, it's going to control you. Okay. Or you can control it. It's the opposite, right? So you have to control everything through your thoughts. right? So as soon as somebody says something, are you going to believe it? You know, a lot of people are saying everything that's going on with Jesus, what's going on with Jeshua, when did he actually die, you know, and because he's this, because he's everything through connections of Aaron, or you know, we come into Metatron or Mezekek or archangels or angels. I mean, it has so many definitions of vibrations, guys, but it's all connected to you through the heart. Okay, so these are all connected through codes. It makes you feel better, okay, going through those things. So if you put your positions and how you can trust yourself and how you can allow yourself, right, you have to defeat yourself, okay, define yourself, right? You have to defeat yourself, define yourself. So you have to fight yourself with it fully and completely, and everything around you will change. You change your body, you change your mind, you change your heart, you change your thoughts, everybody will start appreciating you more, and they'll start loving you more. So you'll start loving yourself more. And then you realize, wow, this is powerful. I could smile because I want to smile, and I'm not going to give anybody any definition why I want to smile. Okay, even if it's going to rain, I'm still smiling. Why are you smiling? It's raining out. Do I have to give you a definition because it's raining to say I can't smile? So you're telling me I can't smile because of this? It's kind of stupid if you think of it that way. Some people are like that because they're not happy with themselves. So it's all about us trying to help them, put them in position to their thoughts. Okay, so this is more emotional video, right? It's all about giving back. Okay, you give back, you manifest, you get what you want. If you don't give back, you don't get anything. And then you keep argumenting, you're going to be going with your soul identification through light and dark, positive and negative for the rest of your life, and you're going to stay on those karma wheels. Well, I'm getting sick. I'm on a roller coaster that's never going off. So imagine you being on a roller coaster and you can't get off. You can't get off because you can't identify yourself anymore. You're totally lost in transition. And that's why people pass. Light goes out. Right? But there is a point of that because everybody dies on a certain point of division of time. So you understand there's no right or wrong in anything through a life. It's put in a position because people are making choices. When you make a choice, there's no right or wrong with its choice. You put yourself in that position, nobody else does. So somebody has taken your sovereignty. Somebody has taken your peace. Somebody has taken your light, right? Because you're allowing it. But if you fight for what you want, they can't take it. Do you understand? They can't take what's yours. They can't take your soul unless you invite them in. Okay? Don't invite them in, right? So it's having faith. It's having the abundance of faith. It's having the strength of your thoughts. It's knowing how to move your thoughts going forward. It's knowing the power of your thought. It's knowing the activation of your light. It's knowing the protection. Okay, my team is in that level right now through connections. We're coming into 100 chakra rotation centers. So let's get into that through connection. But it's more personal trait. Try to understand more of yourself through directions. Put yourself in those views. Try to understand, trust yourself to know yourself. Adios. Bye. So basically, finding yourself is very hard. It's like being in deep waters and you can't, swim above. Every time you try, or with a quicksand, you just keep pulling up, but you keep going down, right? So you got to ask yourself, how do I change my thoughts? How do I change my time of thoughts? How do I change my space of thoughts? How do I get into the strength of thoughts? How do I change my lights? How do I protect my lights? How do I protect myself? How do I protect myself in my dreams? How do I understand my dreams? All this is you through connection of your soul identifications. Okay? Stop fighting with yourself within. Let yourself go. It's the most beautiful, beautiful thing that you could do. Yes, I have good days and bad days, but I always center myself. Okay? I always center myself, because if I don't, what's the point of living? What is the point knowing that everything that you see out there is going to be taken over? Okay? So you're putting energy on top of them and you're making them look good. Okay? You're making them look superior over you. You want the other way around. You want to be superior and say, well, listen, this is my sovereignty. This is my light. This is my activation. This is my protection. You're not taking things away from me. You have to have the confidence. You have the control, and you have to have the command. These are the things you need to understand. Okay. There's a lot of people that aren't doing that. Okay. Because they don't know why. So what do? They give in. Okay. What happens when you give in? Okay. You give in everything. Right. And then when you give away your self-pride, you have nothing else. I say, well, I give in. That's it. I'm done. You're giving up. Don't give up. Perseverance. Never give up. You're giving up because they say so? No. There's always ways of working things out. Okay? Nature knows what it's doing. Earth knows what it's doing. Concentrate on that. Know that you're going to be okay. Put yourself in these positions. Okay? People basically die because they're making a choice. Because they don't know what to do otherwise. Okay? So you're not forced to make a choice. Just because you see something and you can't do anything about it, who says you can't? And then you stop worrying about these things. Okay? So then you stop fighting yourself within, and everything through the truth comes out. And there is, wow, I can't believe this. 49, 50 years I've been fighting with myself. There's spiritual form. And I realize I'm just totally letting go. So I don't worry about anything, and I get everything. That's the true meaning of life. Okay? So that's exactly what it is, Angel Fest. You have to take your power back. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So let's go through your questions before we get into the school. Yeah. Intense counseling with our oversoul, body, and mind. We are way happier now, all safe place and exist. So that's the thing. So Angel knows where she is. She knows where she's going, and she knows how to get there. These are the three things you have to look at yourself, right? Bumblebee, Bee Medicine. Yeah. Yeah, the Bumblebee and Transformers. He's my favorite character, not Optimus Prime. 90988. Well, those are number frequency levels. So you got 9 connections, 0 gravity positions, 9 activation light systems, 288. 8 is rotation center to its peace tree location of V vector unit system. So that's what 90988 is. If you hurt me, you hurt you. Well, that's it. If it is to be, it's up to me, right? Do unto others as they would do unto you. These are the things you have to look at. These are all about remembering. Sometimes you need it. Sometimes people need guides. Sometimes people feel better just talking to books than talking to people. Everybody is different. As long as you understand that you can get anything you want through manifestation, but you have to help yourself within yourself, inside yourself. Really, really go into the problem of your soul. Because if you don't, you're never, ever, ever going to get into your divine, of your light. You're never, ever going to go through that tunnel. You're never, ever going to see yourself going forward. Right? Because all you're doing is looking 5-10 years from now, everything is negative, 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 negative. You're putting yourself in that position all the time. All the time. When I say something negative, I do its reference. I don't put myself in negative because it doesn't make me feel good. If I say something negative, person, it doesn't make me feel good. Okay? So you have to understand these things. Do unto others as they would do unto you. It's karma, which is karma. Okay? No matter what you do, you're going to be in regression. You're going to be into its regret. When somebody passes away, you don't want to have regrets. That's the last thing that you want to do. You want to say this to the person, but then you realize they pass away, and now oh, great. That's just great. I wanted to say something before this person died. Very personal to me, right? And then you realize you're only thinking of yourself. That's the problem with people. That's the egotistical of self. The heart can go in all ways and forms of travel through thoughts. But if you put yourself in that position, you have nobody else to blame but yourself. Okay? So, Joker face. Yeah. I was going into reactions of different faces when it came into structural locations of how we go into our behavioral system. the psychosis, the psychological system, anything through modification. When we come into lights, thoughts, anything in that connection, how we come into our connections. Do you want to be a sociopath, a psychopath? You want to be schizophrenic? These are the choices you make. You're not born with this. You're creating this. Okay? I'll say that again. You are not born with this. You create it through your thoughts. That's powerful, guys. So now you're changing your whole body to the dark system. When I say dark system, it's just in relation of its reflection of what you want to see yourself. You want to be Satan, you're going to be Satan. You want to be in hell, you're going to be in hell. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. You're creating on your own. You have nobody else to blame but yourself through thoughts. Stop fighting yourself. Bring yourself forward. Think of yourself as a flower. Think of yourself as beauty. Think of yourself beauty within and out. So these are the things you have to work at. Okay, exercise your thoughts. Motivate your activations of your thoughts. There's a lot of things that you guys can do. Let yourself go. Let it flow. Go outside and sing in the rain. Singing in the rain. Guys singing in the rain. It's a movie, but it doesn't matter. I feel good. I want to sing in the rain. Right? Nobody's going to tell you otherwise. Why are you singing in the rain? The sun's not out. So what? I want to sing in the rain. Don't tell me what to do. You know what I mean? Don't tell me otherwise. So people put themselves in these positions, and that's what problems with humanity is. The earth can no longer go through these connections. Okay? It's ignorant. It's egotistical. You can't live on this earth anymore in the three-dimensional system. The fifth dimensional system is showing everybody how to awake through the heart system of thoughts, because you're creating everything, okay, between heaven and hell. That's what it is. Do you want to be in hell or do you want to be in heaven? Do you want to evolve or do you want to resist? Right? Do you want to reposition yourself or do you want to be divine? So put yourself in these positions, guys. This is the yin and yang of thoughts, of recognition of space and time. So you got to ask yourself, where do you want to be in space and where do you want to be in time? Okay, do you want to create a dark realm, dark matter, dark hole, dark circle, dark vibration, dark civilization? Now I'm Satan. You're creating Satan by yourself. That becomes extremely real, especially when you go through dreams. So you're creating this. Remember, it's all connected, it becomes activated, especially if you open your chakra system. So be cautious on what you create. I took my team 20,000 years into the future and I told them exactly what not to do. Okay? So that means I care. If I don't tell them what to do, what happens? Something happens. Don't touch the computers because I have it set up for a time code, right? So if you touch a computer, something happens, right? I'm responsible. Okay? So I care. I understand. I know what I need to do now. I know how to travel here. I know how to travel there. I know how to balance everything through connection of the mind. I don't put you in these things, okay, without giving you answers that you need. So I make you feel comfortable when you travel. A lot of people don't do that on stage. They say, okay, you're going to go through a cloud right now. You're seeing all these numbers right now. Now you're going through dimensional. How do you guys feel? Right? Hypnotism. Remember, he's programmed your mind and he's putting you through these clouds and dimensions, but you have no idea what he's just done. He's not going to tell you otherwise. That's the secret. They're not going to tell you that. It's magic, right? That's egotistical. He's creating it for his own form. He's creating it for his own identity. He doesn't care. That's what people get involved with, okay? So when there's light, there's dark. When there's positive, there's negative. So it's all about humanity balancing themselves and stop fighting your soul. Stop fighting. What are you fighting against? Okay, you're fighting yourself through your thoughts of time, of travel, and space. Think of yourself first, then you think of others, right? Focus on yourself first, master yourself within, then you can communicate with others and they'll feel great because your energy feels great. Hey, Andrew, you're glowing. Hey, Andrew, you're smiling. This is fantastic. How do I get that? I want that. I need that. Give that to me. I need help. I need help. I need help. That's what's the positions you want to put yourself in. So it's all about helping others before you help yourself, right? When you master yourself within, now you can master everybody else with them, right? because it's all at them getting out of the right and wrong and getting in position of center to their positions and understand what the Galactic School is. It's all about education. It's educating yourself. Okay, and getting into relation to what your past is, what your present is, and what your future could be. Okay, so we keep bringing in love and light, creating more and more. Heavens now. Well, there you go. Music tones, right? Emojis, right? Angel wanted to send that because she feels that. She's connected to music. She's connected to that. She's connected to shape. She's connected to, she's got a lot of energy in her that she wants to let out. So she gives back, right? Social platforms, medias, or anything, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, or anything, the connection. We're all about helping each other. If we understand each other first, then we can help each other, right? If we don't understand ourselves, how can we help each other? It's too confusing if you confuse yourself. Simplicity is there. All right. All right, so let's get into the 100 traction positions or rotation centers to its position. Now, the clock you recognize in light system, it changes into the calculation. The fifth dimensional system of this clock is at basically 5. Okay, the little hand of the sun and everything to the big hand of the moon. It's at 5 right now. So the generation cycle is ready and it's beginning. So humanity is in the light system, the light circle through its gravity system. The Earth rotation and its vibration system is its own confirmation signals through its code frequencies. So it's connected to its round location. So it's in this position right now through modification. I'll just show you through traction. So you understand your positions, right? It's already done through calculation. I did that yesterday, right? So bringing yourself forward is everything through connection. So if you understand more of the earth, you really have to understand your soul, because it's your soul that identifies your birth to its earth, its earth planes, simulation interface. That's how I'm able to travel anybody through connections. All right, so basically, as we come into traction location, okay, trying to get into this here. All right, so let's get into 100 / rotations. Okay, so we're going to go into this a little bit, into the review of 100 rotations. All right, so understand anything through rotation, understand everything through calculation. You have to understand, are you half full or half empty through light? So you put yourself in position. This is your glass. Think of yourself as an hourglass. So you're here. Okay, we'll do a definition, cycle through its rotation system again. Okay, are you here? Where are you? Here or here? Right? You can't get here until you understand your liquids of lights through travel of thought. So this, you're half full or you're half empty. Now this is metaphorically, but you have to understand the connections of where you are through calculation through water. Right? You have to understand your plasmas and everything through connection, right? So once you understand that position, now we can get into the 100 rotation centers. So line signals its cross positions. Okay, put you in that position. So you understand your central system, your gravity system is 7, and you understand your 5 atmospheric positions. 7 within the body, 5 within the atmosphere. Okay, so 7/body, 5/atmosphere. Okay, so you've mastered that. You've mastered the 12, right? So you get into the grounds, you get into the powers, and you get everything through its atmosphere system. Every single day, you're transmitting and receiving everything. It's you understanding your intelligence, more of your body and more of the mind of its atmosphere. So you have to understand the 7 within the body, 5 within the atmosphere. You have to master the 12 chakras before you can understand anything else of travel. Okay? So we're in positions right now into the Rebellion Alliance where they're coming into 100, but you have to fully understand and remember how powerful you are through the body and how powerful you are through the mind. Okay? So once you come into the cylinder, once you come into the activation of the center position, okay, modification, your diamond core position, right? Your diamond core, you guys start off with your triangles. So it's all about coming into this, and then into this, And then you recognize your travel positions of your gravity positions of your 7 within the body and 5 within the atmosphere. Right? And then you understand the grids. Right? Grids within the bottom, grids within the middle, and grids within the top. You go through that through calculation, right? So you take that out of its equation, it travels through its recognition of space and time through its position. Okay, so when you understand that, you go into high form through calculation, through its division. And then when you come back, you're going to master everything through the 7 of its body and everything through 5 of its atmosphere. That's 12, right? And then we come into the connection of the Earth rotation, because the Earth is not circle. The rounding system of its shape is circle, but it's connected and always informs through your thoughts of recognition of space and time through its shape. So the Earth is everything through shape, through creation of your DNA, right? Because everybody sees the Earth in a different way. That's why it's every form of shape, guys. That's how you have to calculate yourself and modify yourself through your thoughts. So the Earth is not circle. To everybody else, the Earth, they think it's flat. They understand they have to give a reason why it's flat, why you only see one side, because you're only seeing through perception. You're not seeing it through calculation. You're not seeing it through integration. You're not seeing it through E equals MC squared. You're just seeing it because everybody else is saying it, right? So you're not connecting. So when you connect, everybody's a different DNA, different path, different journey, different mission. They'll see the Earth in a different way of forming, because it's all about you understanding your body, and it's all about you understanding the mind of its body to its atmosphere, to its position, to its Earth system. Okay, so when you come into the connections of 12, you're connecting into more forms of its Earth rotation, right? Then the chakra system comes into calculation. You come into the sun rotation, right? So it's connecting to your body frame and system, centers its position to its ground formation system. It opens up all your chakra rotations, so 12 through connections. So once you understand that through connection, it opens up all cycle rotations, sonar location to its Earth rotation system through its calculation. Okay? But you truly understand, if you want to get into your 100 rotation cycles of its position, this is just a review. We'll get into the evaluation tomorrow. You understand everything through its test. Okay? Test of you through knowledge of thought, through light, through calculation. Then you understand why it's important to understand your body of 7 and why it's important to understand the 5 of the atmosphere of its mind. It has to have balance. So the mind has to understand the creation of your thought, and the brain has to understand its position of its mind through its creation. The soul has to identify all connections to your heart of its portal, because now you connect to the alpha, omega, micro, and the macro. Dolores Cannon can tell you about that. The microscopic of you. You understand the particle system of you. You understand the molecular structure of light, of your thoughts. What are you connecting with? Why am I doing this anyway? Is this helping me? You're questioning yourself. Don't question yourself. Don't question yourself. Okay? Until you understand yourself. 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 Okay? So, I think we're going to stop there, because I don't want to get too confused. You just really have to master your body with thoughts of 7. You have to know your chakras is 7. What does it mean to you? Because it's a different Earth rotation center to its position of you through thought of a dream. So everybody sees the Earth in a different way, and that's why it's so fantastic. That's why it's so incredible. The unconditional of its Earth. When you see the Earth, everybody sees it in a different form of a shape. That's why I wanted to travel you guys into 20,000 years and show you how powerful it is, how you're connected to your thoughts of its Earth, and how you change things. See, that's all connected to you. So you're creating your own Earth. You're creating your own reality of Earth. You're creating your own thoughts of its reality of its Earth through vibration, through its activation, through its chakra system, of the gravities, the powers, and the atmospheres of your positions, of your molecular structure, of your lights, through your particle system. Okay? going into the crystalline. And that's confusion to a lot of humanity because they don't understand the crystalline now. Okay, going into the Anticarian, Antimantian, Antimental. You have to understand the configuration. You have to understand the motivation. You have to understand the vibrations of yourself. Okay, you have to understand the integration. You have to understand the rotations. You have to understand the circle rotation centers to your connections of your thoughts. Okay? So, this is what you have to master. 7 within the body, 5 within the atmosphere. Okay? So, the traction positions, tomorrow we'll get more into calculation of the 100 rotations into its evaluation. Okay? And then we'll get into the test. So, I'd like to get into the review. So, it's kind of back and review of what we've learned. Okay? Because you guys have been through a lot of test reviews and evaluations. But as long as you understand that it's all about you educating yourself, there's no right or wrong here. It's all about you understanding, getting out of the forcing system of the strangulations of your connection, of your thoughts. You're fighting with yourself within. Because if you're fighting yourself within, what are you doing? You're not evolving. You're not moving forward. You're stuck in time. A lot of people put their positions in time. They understand, okay, where am I now? I don't know where I am. I don't know who I am. What am I doing? Where am I going? Why am I living? Right? Question. Get out of the question, you come everything to its equation. All right? So, questions or comments are really good. I just really want you guys to really understand what you're doing, right? I don't want to get too confused with everybody because once you reach 100 chakra rotations, you're no longer half empty and you're no longer half full. Okay? And it's not going to be any more metaphorically. It's all going to be connected to your thoughts. So it's all about you high rising and getting out of positions and stop fighting with the inner system of yourself. So once you stop fighting, I'll keep saying this, you start identifying you more and more each day through your soul. So once you get that, then you get connections to other people's soul. Once you reach somebody's soul, it's powerful. They start crying. They start opening up to you. And then you realize, wow, that's incredible. I changed somebody's life just by one thought. And they feel better already. Now, it's a process. It takes time, but that's all positions of time. So you're connecting and you're not getting any more, connections of loss and transition. You're not confusing yourself through anything through regulation or anything through practice system. So you take yourself out of the, the programmers of yourself, propaganda, everything through the media. And then you stop worrying about everything that's outside. You start looking within. Perfect example, when you look at a circle, you're in the circle, you jump out, right? And then you look in, you peek. Ooh, do I want to go back in there? I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to be a little bit more observant. Okay? So it's kind of like you're an outcast of yourself and you're looking yourself in and say, ooh, I don't know if I'm going to jump in again because I'm not sure. Until you're sure, you jump in. And then you take out whatever you don't want in your circle rotation. That will bring you forward through recognition, through its light of its thought, to its chakra system of communication. Okay? So. All right, so let's get into your questions. Goonies never say die. Bumblebee, our favorite food too. My instincts are to help, grab hands, share space, love, and respect. There you go. Those are perfect, positive answers. Really nice. Oh, thank you. As Angel said, I'm a rock star. Rock star, not because of my stereotypical system of its ego system. Rock star because I'm giving back to its humanity system. That's why I'm a rock star. You have to understand why you're a rock star. If you don't understand why people say these things, that's a problem on its own. That's another lot of confusion. What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. Why am I a rock star? Okay, do I feel like a rock star? Okay, so now you're going through confliction and now you're saying, wait a minute, I'm giving you a compliment, you're giving me something back. I don't get too complicated, but you're complicating the soul and you're complicating the mind and everything through the brain and you're not recognizing yourself anymore. And now you're getting into an argument. So get out of the argument. Stop fighting. Start flowing. Start recognizing. Start blossoming. Okay, into your divine. So the only thing you're fighting is yourself. You're not fighting anybody else but yourself. Until you see that, until you realize that, that's the only way you're going to be able to move forward in life. You have to see it for yourself. Okay? And then you start believing. You start believing, and then you get control, and then you get power, and then you get command. Okay? With your life. All right? Physical muse, what I want to be and who I am. I am what I am, like with Popeye. Imagination is a medium. Yep. Pretty birds are singing. Yeah, I know. They sing every day. They sing to me through retrospects and all communication line signals. It's pretty amazing through audio system. I did not touch anything. Yeah. Adopt a friend. It's only a ship in our space. So putting yourself in these connections really gets more important to you who you are through modification. You start to identifying yourself and you stop resisting. You start flowing. Okay? This is not a competition between two people. The only thing you're competing with is yourself. So get out of the competition of yourself. Stop putting yourself in those positions of competition. You're competing with other people. Oh, poor me. This person has this. This person has that. And then you start envying them. So why am I envying them? I want to live my own life. They have their life. Let me live mine. Right? So when people come at you, they come directly at you. Right? And they don't talk to you. Right? So they have to find a way so they can educate themselves so you don't feel construed or like, whoa, back up. Why are you being like that? They're angry. Why are they angry? So they're putting themselves in their own position and they're fighting themselves within because they don't know themselves. So they just lose track of mind, track of time, track of thought, track of light, track of misconceptions of your chakra system, miscommunication to anything through its environments or anything through its economy or anything through its social or anything through its event. You're putting yourself in that position. Nobody else is, okay? So you got to get out of that. There's no competition with anything. You can't have competition one person to the next. They are there because they want to be there, because they're happy. They're content with their self. Focus on yourself and you get what they have. But you don't want to be them. You want to be you. Don't try to be copy and be somebody else. Okay? Because you're not helping yourself. You're making it worse. You're making it worse for yourself. Don't put yourself in those positions. Right? Because you're going to put yourself in the back position of your thoughts. And you're not going to be able to bring yourself forward. And you're always going to be in that karma wheel. Okay? So, questions or comments, I'm here to help you, guide you. Not just guide you, but help you with yourself, how to heal yourself. I'll give you advice, what you need to do. Guidance is a way to push, right? Not to save, because you have to educate yourself again. And that's the hardest thing to do. Okay? So it's back getting into crawling. It's back into walking and talking, back going into a baby. And, what does a baby do when it starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger? It starts getting more knowledge, more intelligence, right? And then it starts observing things and starts seeing things. And then you start seeing, what can I do with my body? What can I do with my eyes? What can I do with my mind? What can I do with my brain? What can I do with my ears? What can I do with my voice? What can I do with my chakra system? Communicate, right? So anyway, I love you guys very much. We'll keep it more informed with more traction positions of 100 chakras. I just want to get into the review. Tomorrow we'll get into the evaluation, and then we'll get into the test, what it's all about. I'll get more into that, all right? So you guys have a fantastic, tremendous day, all right? Adios.